Tonight, we talk about the downfall of a cubicle crawl dynasty, the game-breaking bugs and fat sausages in New World, and the stigmata we all experience in Mario Party. After the break, we talk cheating and policing in gaming, and who of the 9 we will be taking with us into the depths of hell.
Nick here, currently wondering if anyone has really been far, even has decided to use even go want to look more like.
Hi, I'm Josh, and that confused the fuck out of me.
My name's Russ, and I give good, non-fungible poking.
My name's Andy. Welcome to Video Game Tango.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That was good.
Fuck. So we've got news. Real quick, I want to touch on, you guessed it, it's Blizzard.
Blizzard news.
Yeah, so they've canceled BlizzCon 2022, which was already just going to be all digital for, COVID reasons.
Replaced it with crack cocaine.
Turns out the digital convention also sexually assaulted.
Just constant. So they want to reimagine what BlizzCon means.
What does it mean to be a game?
What does it mean to give us all your fucking money?
What they realized is they probably got a bevy of cancellations for people's fucking online tickets. And they're like, we're not going to make any money on this thing because the world fucking hates us. Yeah. So they canceled it, and they said they'll bring it back TBD.
Oh.
Yep.
That was a bad expansion.
True.
Burning dick.
The burning dick. So along with that, when J. Allen Brack, the last president of Blizzard Entertainment, left, 2 people were put in place, Jen O'Neill and Mike Ibarra. They were co-leaders for Activision Blizzard. One of them is left. Can you guess which one?
Jen O'Neill.
Yeah, it sure is. She's left to go
Wise
work
choice.
at
Anywhere else.
Women in Games International. Oh, no,
Much
excuse me.
better.
Well, they're doing a $1 million grant in support of Women in Games International because she's leaving.
Gotcha.
So I'm just wondering, it's hard not to imagine that she got fucking blizzarded. She got cube crawled. Right?
Got taken to the Cosby room.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Dude, Blizzard, come the fuck on.
Or don't come the fuck on.
True.
Yeah. Stop
Do not
coming
come.
the fuck on.
Stop coming.
I'm going to come.
Do not come.
Do not come.
I'm
Do
gonna
not
come.
Do not come.
With the egregious aggravated level of stuff that's happened there, the stuff's been going on forever. So I was just finding out about it. Like, this isn't going to change anytime soon because it's been the status quo for God knows how long.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel
Top
like
down.
she got promoted. Like, I'll be able to make real changes. And then they're like,
See this?
We're not looking to
internecine
change. We just want to look
Yeah.
like we changed.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
We're going to give $1 million to women.
We
in
were
something.
preferring a platitude that did nothing at all.
Mm-hmm.
We were hoping that you would forget about this.
Yes, exactly. And then just keep buying our stuff.
She probably just found out she was getting paid half as much as the male leader.
Yeah,
and
no
that's
shit.
why she's leaving.
No shit.
Like, Blizzard, what the fuck are you guys doing?
Dying.
At this point, I just hope so. Like, let's just kill it off. Just kill it off. We have all the people that actually were Blizzard back in the day, all at different companies, which this had to have been happening under their leadership too. So it's really hard to look at them and say like, these are the guys I looked up to. It kind of sucks to say that, but that's true.
They might not have had as much power back then.
Well, it was their company,
Sure.
They started the company.
But something happens, when you be, the ego that comes
Sure.
with being Blizzard,
Yeah. There is, but they've also used that for just evil. Like what they call the Blizzard tax. They pay their employees less because they work at Blizzard. Like that's just something that's well known in the company. Mm-hmm. You're allowed to put this on your resume that you worked at Blizzard, the dream job for every game developer and coder ever. So we're gonna pay you less, knowing that eventually someday you will make more money, probably elsewhere. So,
Yuck.
yeah, it's wild. We're talking about employees that have to, and it's in Anaheim, California. So these people are getting paid like $15 an hour in Anaheim, California. So they gotta
So they have 4 other jobs?
They gotta live 2 hours away is what they gotta do.
Yeah, they either have to live a couple hours away and commute, or a lot of these guys are all living together. Exactly, like 8 to 12 to a house.
Okay.
So fucking fuck you, Blizzard. At this point, like, you're fucking irredeemable. Stop your shit.
There's a reason I haven't put Overwatch on my PC. I really wanted to. I really liked playing Overwatch, but I haven't played it. And I'm not going to.
Your watch is over.
Well, they're pushing Overwatch 2 and Diablo 4 to 2022.
Yep.
Probably also hoping that some of this shit blows over.
They just right now they can't make a good game.
I like that. Your watch has ended.
So. Yeah, your watch has ended.
On a different note, Pax South canceled, which was held in San Antonio, Texas. Not because they're sexually harassing people. Yes, Josh. Josh is really broken up about this. Now, admittedly, that only leaves like 4 other Paxes that you can still go to, but I guess it kind of sucks for the people that live regionally.
Yeah, for sure.
Mostly just COVID and low attendance stuff. They're like, we have like 5 Paxes, so this one's the one that's got to go.
Yeah. And it's classically been the smallest one. So
one day I'll get to go to PAX.
Yeah, one of these days. You know, it really isn't far.
It's the money.
It's the money. I get it.
Hey, subscribe to Twitch.
It's
yeah.
It's like that the whole rigmarole of trying to get tickets because they fucking sell out so fast.
But you can get tickets if you have money.
Well, I mean, the 4-day pass to PAX is like $180 or something like that.
Something like that.
Not from a scalper. It's
not crazy.
Yeah, not from a scalper. Now, admittedly, you don't need to go to a con all the days, right?
Sure.
And PAX is a 4-day event, I think.
Yeah.
I've been to a lot of conventions, and you can typically get everything that you want to get done in 2 days.
Yeah, first 2.
So, like, you don't always have to try to get that 4-day pass. You just pick up, like, a 2-day pass or the individual days.
Yeah, it's more so money for hotel, money for travel, money for food, money for spending.
Yeah.
You know, the ticket price is only a fraction of what you end up paying.
Well, yeah, I mean, you want a grip of money. Yeah, money for spending is the key factor, in my opinion.
Because you're going to go there and you're going to want a lot of things.
All the things.
Yeah, this is like the consolidation of all the things that you do want to buy all in one place, with a severe markup on things that were already too expensive.
Yeah.
Last time I was in Emerald City Comic-Con up in Seattle, which was, I think, I want to say 3 years ago. I specifically did not browse any of the vendor floors.
Mm-hmm.
I walked straight through them on my way out to like smoke a cigarette or get something to drink. And I was like, I'm literally going to want to buy nearly everything I see. And even the stuff that I was just passing by casually, I was like, fuck that. Oh, yeah. Do I want a tiny octopus plushie? Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I do. You know, but no, I don't got time for that. I got to sell my flesh.
Fair.
Did you whore yourself up there? Is that how you paid the ticket?
Yes, that's what it sounds like.
No, yeah, I was there for Ravenswood, so selling that cow flesh.
Selling that leather goods.
I went to a Comic-Con. I liked a lot of things. I bought a few. I also stole a few because I was like, I'm not paying for that.
Yeah, you went to Rose City, yeah.
But I am going to have that.
Stole from a Comic-Con?
Yes, I did.
I mean,
you Slytherin bitch.
Yeah, he's
Slytherin, girl.
Rose City Comic-Con's a good one. It's for it being kind of a local.
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, you know.
I've been to substantially worse conventions than Rose City.
I saw William Shatner. I met CM Punk and Summer Glau.
It's weird that you also saw William Shatner, because I saw William Shatner on my first con that I went to.
He was waiting for you.
Well, I mean, I wasn't going to pay the $180 to get his headshot, but I did see him from like 20 feet away. Yeah.
So
the best part was I physically ran into the Green Ranger, not looking what I was doing.
Oh yeah, I remember that. You knocked his
and I knocked his fucking headshots out of his hands. And like I was picking them all up, and I looked at the headshots, and it was Tommy,
fucking Tommy,
Green Ranger. And I looked up, and there he is. And I was holding the headshots, and I was like, "Can I get it's a morphin time?" And he's like, "Can I get those back?" And I was like, "Yeah." But he did not give me the morphin time, but I desperately wanted it.
Hey,
now he does it on TikTok all the time. Fucking
yeah.
I mean, he's also at like a lot of those conventions.
Yeah.
Do you know his name?
Oh, I don't.
Tommy the Green Ranger.
Jason.
I was going to say Jason.
Is the Red Ranger.
Jason is the Red Ranger, but I think that's his actual name.
His actual name is Jason.
Tommy Oliver.
Oh, his name is Tommy?
Yeah. I'm going to check to see if he has a cameo.
I disagree. His name is not his name.
That just makes it easy for actors.
Right.
All right, your character's name is Tommy. Thanks, I appreciate that.
Cool.
Here's a fun one. I saw a headline that talked about League of Legends hitting 180 million active players.
Boy.
And I saw that article, and I was like,
Wow.
"What?
I mean,
This game is multiple years old. Like, what has happened in League of Legends that has caused this sudden influx of users to be on here?" Right? Turns out that's not quite accurate. So what they're doing is there are essentially like 5 games that they consider under the League of Legends umbrella.
Oh, Wild Rift.
TFT on the mobile app and stuff like that. So if one person at any point logs into any 5 of those games, it counts as a unique active user. So I mean, you could really take that 100
numbers.
Yeah, yeah, like hardcore. There's nothing new going on in League of Legends.
Okay.
Andy and I were talking about like the game gets credit for being its longevity being strong. Like the game's been around for a long time with a strong community, but that comes most of the time when you have a free to play game with a ever changing roster of like characters and stuff like that. You'll see it a lot, but good for them. But you don't need to lie about your numbers. We know you have a toxic community and your game is okay.
You're the biggest MOBA. It's okay.
Yep.
Yeah, right now they're number 5 on Twitch. It's crazy.
Dope.
Yeah.
It's new chess.
Yeah, and it makes sense that they're popular on a Twitch stream because it's the kind of game where you want to watch better players play so you know what the hell you're doing.
That makes sense.
I tell you, watching Smite play at like competitive level, like it's a lot like we used to watch WoW PvP. The really good people play WoW. And when you know what the fuck's actually happening on screen, it's really fucking fun. Even better in MOBAs where they have like an 11th player that's the camera floating around. You've got the commentary, the multiple camera angles, and it's not all like one screen full of buttons and all the ground effects, right? But yeah, watching Smite competitive play was so much fun.
It makes a lot of sense to kind of watch those games, the MOBA style and stuff, because they have such a ever-changing meta about like builds, comps, and what's effective and stuff.
Keeps it fresh.
Yeah, I mean, it's either if especially if you can't play that game all the time, so you're like aware, you're seeing the meta as it changes and stuff like that. Watching other people play and kind of like break things down is extremely useful. I played auto chess for like a good solid couple months on the phone, which was the first mobile translation of the auto battlers. Which I guess is not a MOBA. MOBA's not an auto battler, but the same premise kind of applies to where you have character classes and team builds, and strategy involved on like the map placement and stuff like that, right? I don't know. I honestly don't think I've played a MOBA. So
I mean, MOBAs play much differently than an auto battler. Auto battlers are probably closer to a idle game than anything.
Sure,
Like a very tactical idle game, right?
But I mean, I use it not as a comparison of like gameplay mechanics, but more of the ever-changing meta that happens because of the roster of characters that are present in a game, right?
Yeah, and the balance patches that are constantly coming out.
Yeah. Like and that's how you keep a game fresh too, is by constantly making adjustments to characters. And they also have like
or new skins.
They have items and stuff in like League of Legends and stuff too, don't they?
Oh man,
that you equip.
It's a whole part of the game.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's at least that similarity as well.
What's this Mario thing you got?
So for you specifically, man. So
No.
yes.
Is this the raft? Is that the river raft?
Yep, sure is. And the tug of war.
The hand breaker.
They're bringing it back for
out.
Mario Party All-Star,
out.
Mario Party Superstars.
Why?
Because your hand has been cherry for too long, sir.
Because kids have had it too easy.
Yes.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Bring it
Literally a ring blister on my palm.
Yep.
Yeah.
And everything you get a blister in a ring.
It's Mario Stigmata.
Yep, Mario Stigmata, yeah.
Wahoo.
So they're bringing back the raft minigame, which
Jesus.
for the layman's in the audience who haven't played, required you to rotate the joystick on the Nintendo 64 controller rapidly. And the easy way to do that was to put it on your palm and spin it around. Never mind that it's shaped like a violent butt plug. It was hard plastic, ribbed for
for no one's
your
pleasure.
displeasure,
Yeah.
and you're spinning it at 1,000 roughly, million RPMs, and you very quickly build up a pain circle.
Yeah.
Many a blister.
I had not just blisters, but like scarring that happened on my hand for years.
It's like if I
a
just
visible
move
scar.
it.
I don't think there's like any remnants of it left because it's been 20 years.
20-something years.
Yeah,
I can still feel it though.
Did they say
if
why
I
they're
think about it?
Are they bringing other old ones back?
Yeah.
This is
So-
like a whole pack of old ones.
Yeah, pretty much. So
Yeah.
basically, it's going to have a lot of the previous favorites from
Like-
various Mario Party.
Yep.
If you ever encountered an old N64 controller and the center joystick was broken off,
You know
Yes.
why?
you know
100%.
why?
Mario
It's
Party.
literally I would wager large sums of money that happened.
Mario Party.
Specifically because of Mario Party.
Yep.
So the funny thing is there's now a wireless N64 controller that you can buy for
Not
your
till 2022. There's not,
Well,
motherfucker.
Fair, yes. But which is funny because they launched the new N64 and Sega emulation services.
They did.
Oh my god! What an absolute shit show. So they put out games that they have previously put out and emulated on other platforms on their most powerful platform yet, and they play like utter garbage. Like we're talking like massive FPS loss in Ocarina of Time, a barely playable Super Mario 64, and this is first party Nintendo. Like I literally have a hacked device.
Shitting the bed.
I have a handheld emulator that plays those games better than the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, I had no idea they were trying to emulate the old games, but like if you can't do a better job than the fucking emulators that are already out there,
Yeah.
they've been out for
Like if it's your
decades.
fucking shit, is it an emulation? Like
Yeah,
shit
'cause
is
it's-
okay.
Yeah,
Emulate just means like running software on a different piece of hardware that it wasn't originally
yeah,
designed
without
for.
having to rebuild the game in native language for the device. Yeah.
I like, but the way Nintendo made it sound like that's what they were kind of doing, right? Like it was going to be
No, they just
or it was just a direct port, I guess. Like,
well, kind of. So it's always hard to say direct port because
Yeah.
you still have to get the game to talk to the hardware.
yeah.
Right. So either through an emulation layer, which is software based, or you rewrite the game to work with the hardware that you're putting it on. So you like in most cases, the reason emulation is so hard is because like say you want to play SNES classics on your Xbox, your original Xbox. That was really difficult, even though the Xbox was like infinitely more powerful than the SNES.
But you got to have a translator.
Right, because there's a middleman here. So yeah, exactly. So
It's
you
not
have
talking directly to the shit. It's got to go through with that.
precisely. So that and that's why you get things. Well, and dude, take into effect that technology has changed too. We're no longer using CRT monitors. So there's like native input latency on LCD and LED screens that you have to try and compensate for in that emulation layer. So it's a really complicated thing to get done right. But you would expect Nintendo, with their effectively infinite resources, knowledge, and firsthand ownership of these devices and titles, that they'd be able to do it fine.
Not
But
surprised. Nintendo has fudged the bucket regarding their old content every generation of hardware they put out.
That is
They're
fair.
like, we're going to resell this old stuff.
Now, fun fact, you can still get a Sega Genesis controller for the Nintendo Switch right now.
yeah.
But not for much longer.
Now the sad thing is they put out the 3-button Genesis controller instead of the 6-button Genesis controller.
What? That existed?
What?
Like originally there was a 3-button
Yes, sir.
Genesis controller?
That was the classic Genesis controller.
Oh.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
I did not know that.
Yep.
I've only ever played on the 6-button.
Ridiculous.
Now it's crazy enough that Sega's in those talks and stuff too. I heard rumors that like Microsoft's looking to try to like pick up Sega in its entirety.
That would be the responsible thing to do because apparently Nintendo can't.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Microsoft and Sega have had a good relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is you have the 3-button
okay.
layout controller. This is
Yeah.
this is your typical Genesis.
That's the one
controller.
I had, baby.
I
Yep.
do. I thought the 6-button looked like the bottom one, just with like a second row of those fat boy buttons. I don't think I've ever seen the 6-button one. Then,
Oh, so I owned the 6-button ones because
Yeah.
we bought ours from a guy that had like all of the add-ons. We bought it secondhand, but that was you can't play a good fighter with just 3 buttons. So this was the fighter controller essentially.
Yeah. Let me look at some other Genesis controllers real quick. I want to see these. I know it's not great for the podcast, but just want to make sure I'm not misremembering my childhood.
I remember the fatty.
Ooh, I kind of remember a see-through controller. That's coming back to
Everything
me.
was see-through because it was
Some of those.
cool.
Yeah, it was
Party Mad Cats controllers.
the best of the late 90s, early 2000s.
Go back.
Uh-huh.
Go back.
One more.
That blue one seems familiar to me.
I don't recognize
That's
that
third
one.
party. That's like the equivalent of the Mad Cats right there.
Fair
Yeah.
enough. Fair enough. Now, admittedly, I've also played almost no Genesis to speak of. Like, I have played it, but it's like I knew one friend growing up that even had one.
Mhm.
And I think the only thing I ever really remember playing on the Genesis was NBA Jam. I think was like the one thing I remember playing on that. And at one point, I got to try a little bit of Toe Jam and Earl. I didn't even play Sonic. I mean,
I remember Earthworm Jim. Earthworm Jim is what I played on
Game
on
was
Sega.
so hard.
It was so hard.
So hard.
But you were playing it on the on the SNES, right?
yeah, like I feel like I played that on the SNES.
It was harder on the SNES than it was on the Genesis because
Everything I played on my Super Nintendo felt fucking hard.
Well,
Like,
yeah. Did you ever play the Lion King game?
Oh my god.
Fuck that game.
Jesus, man.
In a nutshell, when they made the Lion King tie-in game, they specifically asked them to make it hard because they had a deal with Blockbuster to rent out these games, and they wanted people to have to keep re-renting them. And the programmer said, "Yeah, we were told to make the first 2 levels exceedingly difficult."
Wow.
And they did, and they feel bad about it.
Dude,
As they should.
Yeah.
the funny thing is the last level of that, where you have your final boss fight, is like riddled with invisible enemies and shit. So
I'm
like,
not surprised.
a lot like the Aladdin game,
the only game I remember
just as
like,
brutal.
feeling competent at and wasn't like crazy difficult was Mario on the Super Nintendo.
I
Mario was
rocked
well
me some
made.
Donkey Kong on Super Nintendo. I know I
Donkey
did.
Kong's. I think I actually
know I
beat the
did.
first Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah,
I think
dude.
I beat the first 2. I don't think I ever played the third one.
I played the bejesus out of 2. That's what I use my little handheld emulator for, like on my lunch breaks, is to play some Donkey Kong Country 2.
Now I suck at the fucking game. I try to fucking play it and I can't. I fucking can't. And I'm
We're
like, what
soft
the
now.
shit?
We're
You are
old.
soft.
We got aim assist and
Yeah.
horse armor and shit.
You got old, you got soft, you need some gaming Viagra.
You got fat, Ned.
And you've gotten old.
But the number one game I remember playing on the SNES was a game called UN Squadron, which was a side-scrolling, like the warplane games that you played, top-downs, but this one was side-scrolling.
Side-scrolling, shoot 'em up, shmup.
It was hard.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever got close to beating that game.
Millions of those.
My dad played a game on the Super Nintendo called like Desert Storm or some shit, and you're in a fucking attack helicopter.
That was real life. Your dad was in Desert Storm, Josh. That wasn't a game.
No, that was something Wolf. That was
Yeah.
Operation.
There was a
like,
lot of those shitty flight sim games for the consoles.
Operation Wolf. Yeah.
Yeah, the Donkey Kong soundtrack stuff is delightful, just kind of chill too.
Oh, big time.
Someone just made a video I was watching for a Path of Exile character build, and they had the Donkey Kong Country music playing in the background, and I was like, yeah, that's a good choice.
Oh,
watched
dude,
a little
yes.
documentary on the Donkey Kong Country music, and it's even more mind-blowing than it already seems, because you listen to it and you're like, how the fuck is this playing on a Super Nintendo? Right, you listen to other Super Nintendo music. Well, because they had such limited memory, the guy who made the music, he wasn't able to just like make tracks of music in there. There wasn't enough memory. So he would have like little fractions of a second of sound effects, and he could only put so many in there. And then he had to build every track with little tiny individual pieces layered dozens of times against each other to create whole notes and whatnot. It's essentially like, it's like building a puzzle, but every puzzle piece cut into 50 pieces.
Yeah.
Right? It was amazing.
that sounds awful.
I've actually
But it
But
became
incredible.
amazing, right?
Yeah, but incredible.
Yeah.
there's a guy that goes by the Modern Vintage Gamer on YouTube. I watch a lot of his stuff, and he talks a lot about how the SNES and NES sound chips worked, the Genesis as well, and how complex they were to write music for and make sounds on and stuff, and their limitations. So I'm actually fairly versed in their voices is what they call them.
Yeah.
I've looked a lot into that stuff, and it's fascinating, man. The things that developers back then had to do to get games to work and get the vision they wanted out there was incredible.
When you provide an artist with limitations, they create good stuff.
Yep.
Right. When you have everything available to you, it's easy to create
The Hobbit
ho-hum
trilogy.
stuff. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of the shit they had to do to get away with things.
I liked Smaug.
Another quick, yeah, that's literally the only good thing about that movie. That's not true. There's some good scenes in there, but as a whole, it was. We know that compared to the Lord of the Rings trilogy, The Hobbit's a fucking dumpster fire.
Yep.
Yeah.
Another quick news: GTA 6 is in development. I don't know if anybody's surprised by that, but a developer came out and said that it's essentially in development hell right now. Yeah, like, well, I mean, they're talking like, so they're comparing it to how bad it was for like Red Dead, which apparently was super bad for them.
Yeah.
But I mean, in positive GTA news,
It's not positive.
there is positive GTA news. GTA Definitive is going to launch on the 11th this year for PS5 download.
On the 11th of November?
This month, yes, this
Sick.
month, sorry. And then, of course, a digital copy will come out the 7th of December. So, yeah. But,
Yeah.
What, you mean like they're selling physical copies on the 11th?
no, they will be selling digital downloads on the 11th.
And what comes out on the 7th?
The physical copy.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
so
all the way
it's,
around.
okay, so
Yeah.
that makes way more sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That'd be fucking
I said that
great.
backwards. Sorry.
It'd be amazing, though, for a company to be like, no, we're going to sell 500 copies of the game, and then the rest of you fucking plebs can get it a month later.
Yeah. No, they're but physical copies on the 7th of the month. Yeah. But I was checking into the file size, and they are ginormous compared to the originals.
Well,
Yeah, well, I
that's
mean,
More than
to
one
be
game,
expected.
isn't it?
What?
Like you're getting it as a bundle, right? It's multiple games.
No, but like, so for example, the GTA 3 and GTA 5 are 5 times their original file size.
So they're like 2 gigs.
That makes sense, though. I mean, if
No,
you
they're 5 gigs.
if you increase the resolution
yeah.
by like 4 or
No,
5
it's-
times,
I mean,
and the
just-
aspect ratio too, because those came out in 4:3
But I mean,
aspect
like,
ratio.
I was meaning like that seems promising to me that they've done
Yeah.
some shit.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
And then San Andreas is nearly 7 times the size of its original file. So I feel like, yeah, they've done some stuff. It's coming out, like I said, the 11th of this month. So, yay.
Cool. Very
Yeah.
cool.
See, good news.
Yeah.
I mean,
We did it.
yeah. Hopefully, like I do want to see some changes. I'd prefer to see like we've talked about it. I think like 3 times now.
Big
The
head mode.
Big head mode, very important. Slappers only.
Yes.
And no, just making sure that the aiming isn't absolute garbage.
Yeah, the aiming.
Yeah.
Do we have time? Are we going to jump into
Or is
the
that-
new world?
We've got time to talk a little bit of New World. Yeah. So it's New World's been a little bit of a mess in the last week or so, more so than it had been previously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you follow it, Josh?
About how the economy's crashing? Sure.
No, I mean like
Well,
that's one of
one
many
aspect.
things. Yeah, I just
No,
don't
I
know
was
how
look-
closely you follow everything.
No, I was looking into the economy of it, how it's like I thought that was the thing that was crushing the game because it's just making it so that it means nothing if you go out and mine ore or make high level end items. It doesn't matter because it's not worth anything.
That's not even so. If you want to talk specifically trading posts, you can get into the concept of like if you're offline and your shit sells on the auction house, you don't get the money for it.
yeah.
Oh, that's fucking
That
ridiculous.
was a problem they were having. Maybe
Jesus
still
Christ.
be having. I'm not entirely sure. I literally had to make a list of some like pros and cons.
Okay, well, like let's go over. I mean, I have a little bit on the economy and the deflation and their deflating economy.
Well, as Andy shared in Discord, the hatchet is broken, as in the one of the weapons you can choose to wield in that game. There's a skill on the tree that will do increased damage based on how many enemies are around you. That never goes down. It caps at 300%. But say that you could literally roll into the example given is like Boar's Home, where there's a bunch of boars. Get that up to 300%, and then just have that stored on your weapon, and then go somewhere else and be doing an extra 300% damage to stuff.
For how long?
I think it's until you like probably swap weapons.
I think it's on weapon swap that it drops. Yeah.
The big problem, of course, is going to be PvP.
Yeah.
Which you're surrounded by enemies in PvP. So you literally have people rolling in PvP with hatchets that are like 3-shotting people with hatchets.
Jesus Christ.
And that's on top of the
other
invulnerability thing that they had to
PvP
fix.
bullshit,
The healing being an issue.
Oh yeah, they nerfed the fuck out of life staff, dude. The last time I played, it's gonna be rough doing that next dungeon. That's not true. I'm fucking 9 levels higher than the dungeon, but
I don't know if did you read something specific about them nerfing the life staff?
So yeah, well, I know that right now the splash doesn't work, so half of my abilities just don't key anymore.
Okay.
So yeah, that's an issue.
Okay, I wouldn't say that's a nerf so much as like they broke something else in the process.
Yeah. I think what they did is they deactivated it for the time being because of the overhealing that's being done by Sacred Ground and AoE effects.
Yeah.
So a temporary nerf, I suppose, when trying to fix fucking other bugs.
Yeah. There are many broken or just OP abilities in the game. There's literally perks and stuff like that that you can either get on your weapon or you have on your weapons that either are substantially overpowered.
I was reading about one like it makes no sense to not do anything other than the heavy armor that you get from your faction with a particular type of gem because you just straight take 22% less damage.
Yeah. It's like the broken resilient gem or something like that. Does a 22% damage increase on top of everything else. Andy had discovered something about where most like the medium and light armors in the game weren't doing anything.
They don't do anything. You're supposed to get a damage boost, so you do more damage to try and offset being squishy.
Yeah,
that's not a thing.
But in a lot of instances, their armor value is not applied to your character either, so they don't block any damage.
Yeah,
it does nothing.
Oh, it literally
it's
does
cosmetic,
nothing.
Purely cosmetic. Yeah, you throw on some armor, purely cosmetic.
It pretty much came down if you went into a war and you weren't wearing heavy armor, you're a detriment to your team because heavy armor is the only thing that matters.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fun. I guess.
There was full-on wealth, like money and item duping.
Yep.
That's been going on.
I did hear a little bit about that.
Hear about in your
Which,
MMO.
and the worst part about it is the dupers are getting other players banned, like people that don't know
they have a duped item.
Well, yeah, because they trade these duped items to other players.
Yeah.
So all of the players that have accepted incoming trades from these people have also been banned.
Which don't take candy from strangers.
True. I mean, sure, but the fucking economy's crashing, so more and more players are turning to bartering with each other.
So it's funny. So they have this money duplicating thing, and it started off as something to where, like, when you were doing a character transfer to another server, you could offload all of your money and then transfer your character, and you'd have your money when you got to your new server, and then, like, you just left a bunch of money behind you for your friends or whoever who were sticking around. And then that went into where you could just straight up duplicate the money by essentially abusing, like, a network lag switch, to where you would essentially be like micro disconnecting and canceling a transaction, and then both parties would get the money transaction.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they froze all money transactions in the game while they're addressing this issue. And then all of the towns in the world that players have built up started degrading because you couldn't pay your town taxes through your guild income because all money transfers were shut off.
It's almost like making MMOs hard.
Yeah.
You can't just throw money at it and hope it works.
Now, I will say that now I want to get into some pros.
I got to talk sausage game.
I forgot about
the
sausage.
HTML sausage.
Yep. So there's been pretty consistent. Now this is one of the memes and one of the better ones that came from it is you could insert HTML code into chat and do things like add in-game files to chat, including PNGs for things like sausage and other items that they have in the game.
You can force disconnect people.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. If you hover over most items linked in chat via HTML, it crashes your game.
Yeah.
It's one thing and funny to be able to post an image of a sausage, but if you have free HTML code injection, like you could get up to some
pretty bad,
shit.
dude. It got pretty bad.
Right.
Okay, that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to be an apologist for the game. So I will definitely say, like, this kind of stuff is inexcusable to go live with. It's clear this game, it should not have been brought out of like a beta testing mode with all these problems.
Yeah.
I still maintain, though, that there are good bones to this game.
Oh, yeah.
I like the concept that they're working with. I like a lot of the systems that are in place. They just need to be fixed. And if you go online and you read, I mean, I saw an article recently where they lost 500,000 players in this month, or in October.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's going to seem like it's all doom and gloom, especially like if you go on the Reddit threads where they talk about these problems going on, almost everybody on there is like, they're never going to fix this stuff. The company's hot garbage. It's just a quick cash money grab. I don't buy into that. That's the typical, I think, negative reinforcement stuff that you're always going to find online from the people that are most disgruntled wanting to go online and bitch about stuff. Because it seems to me like each time that the devs come out and make a post or talk about stuff, like, I look at it as like if that was my job. You know, if I was making this game, nobody wants to make that game be bad. Like, they don't want to spend all this time developing this game and have it come out and be a shitty game and upset a lot of players and have all these issues and stuff like that. And it comes through in the way that they talk to the community and stuff. They're constantly trying to let them know, we're working on this stuff.
Yeah.
And we're sorry this has happened. And the last one was like a kind of a roadmap and stuff where they're talking about changes that they want to do in the short term to try to fix this stuff and long-term changes. And it's all the stuff that are, and I know you can make an argument that it's just talk, but it seems to me like they've been trying consistently. The game's been out, what, a month?
Yeah.
So it's been out a month. Obviously, it was in various forms of beta testing before that, and some of the stuff should have. Apparently, the gold duping was like also a problem.
Like
during the beta.
That's like the things that I don't understand is like a few of these things they were like, ooh boy, that's going to be a problem large scale.
Well, so you'll get people in the community, especially people that were in the beta, where we'll be talking about.
And then they release,
is that they're like, this problem exists in the beta. Why is it still here? And then the devs will come back and they'll address that. Like, we fixed this, and, you know, and it's extremely upsetting for us that we fixed that problem, but something that we've changed since then brought that bug back, which is doubly frustrating for us because we put all that work into fixing that bug, and now all that work is undone because of something we've done. And like, people need to realize that, like, yes, there is a lot of complicated systems that are going on here. And if you're on the live,
sense, I guess. Yeah, like, so, like, literally, like, so they fixed one thing, right?
Yeah.
So this thing, and then that thing is being fucky. So they go to fix that thing, but because of how they fixed that thing,
it's classic programming, man. That's literally
like,
what, you know.
Wasn't one of you telling me a story about, like, there was a picture of Banana Split or some shit, and they couldn't fucking make the game work if they took the fucking...
That was
the Team Fortress. A joke about the Team Fortress 2 potato.
Yeah, the potato. The potato. It's like, we can't get this game to work unless the fucking potato's there.
Leave the
potato.
Leave the potato.
Now, this is all stuff that, like, seems like they could have done heavier testing in some sort of beta phase and put out a much more robust game. I don't know the specifics of when you go full bore with just letting a ton of people on. It's been my experience in life and in video games that the more people that you add to something, the more shit you're going to find out is busted in your game because people do weird, wacky shit all the time. I mean, I actively play Path of Exile, and the fact that they probably test that game with a infinitesimally smaller fraction of players, and then when they open it up to the general community, people that are literally like running fucking Excel spreadsheets to run calculations on how to best add these items to this tree, they get some broke-ass character that's doing 1 billion damage, you know, like, the developers don't have time to try to do all that, but you throw 1 million people at something, and suddenly some of them are going to find that shit out.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, that's true. That's fair.
Sometimes you add more people and you get some split boys.
Yeah. So have you guys heard about the watermarking system that they're using in New World?
No.
So it's a new system. I don't know how new it is, but you have this issue to where in the game, if you're flagged for PvP, the only incentive you have is you have a 10% XP gain to be flagged for PvP. And I am flagged almost all the time I'm playing, and it can be really frustrating because I'm by myself most of the time because these guys are off fucking around doing shit or not online. And if you run into like 2 players that are also flagged for PvP,
you're going to fuck your day.
They're going to fuck your day up. Like, it's most likely you're going to lose against 2 players. In which case, you have to spawn back into town, and all your equipment takes like durability damage because you've died. So it can get frustrating. Normally, I'll let 2-3 PvP kills on me before I shut that off for a while, just so I can finish whatever quest I was on and go somewhere else. They're working on changing. Well, because if you think about that system where you're getting a 10% XP buff, what's the incentive to ever run PvP when you're max level? Right? Because you're no longer getting an XP gain. So they're
people.
Yeah, so they're addressing that to where they're going to do something like an increased luck. You'll have more luck while you're flagged for PvP, which is your chances of finding rare items. And it's kind of interesting what they talked about is how the end game loot drop system works, to where the watermarking system works as every time that you get a drop, any sort of drop and stuff from killing level 60 plus enemies or players, it essentially is upping your watermark level, which means it's increasing your chances of getting higher and higher stuff from there, and it just keeps stacking and stuff. And it's trying to incentivize you to keep playing in the end game content to try to get that stuff. I know a big problem in the game is also the fact that if you're not into the PvP aspect, which is broke as fuck right now, you go to PvE, and the PvE has like 2 end game instances that you run.
There's not a lot of meat on those bones right now.
Well, the thing is too is like to get in them, you need tuning orbs, and you have to craft those tuning orbs. Those tuning orbs are really hard to craft. So they've already made a note, and they've addressed the community. Like, we're looking into how to make it more accessible so that it's not so difficult to craft these tuning orbs to get into it. Mm-hmm. And the reason I bring all that stuff up is because it's like they have a vision for where they want their game to be, and they want it to be this kind of neat hybrid meshing of the PvE and the PvP and how they interact with each other. And I like that concept because it's not leaning like it's rare to have a game where the PvP influences a lot of how the PvP aspects work in the game. And that's one of the bones of New World that I really like. I think it's neat that your PvP shenanigans influences the PvE aspects of the game. And they want that to continue and stuff. It's just if one or both of those systems are broke as fuck, you have issues. You have issues and stuff. So I think that what you should look at, like I was talking to Andy about it, and you'll probably be on the same boat. New World's definitely in a place to where like we can keep kind of slowly, casually pushing our way up to 60. There's no real big reason for us to like grind shit out.
Yeah, we haven't missed anything.
Yeah, because we're not really partaking of this stuff.
Yeah.
And it's a game to keep an eye on because I think
it's going to get better.
I think it's going to get better. I think that, and that sounds apologetic for
your
him.
Best bet might just be get to 60 on your own time, then stop playing until their first big content patch.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
Andy was saying when we talked about it's kind of a No Man's Sky situation.
Might be a No Man's Sky.
Yeah. No Man's Sky didn't have Amazon money, so got a bit more onus on them to do it better, faster.
Yes.
We'll see.
I mean,
and they have another game coming. Amazon has the second game coming out
I was
tomorrow.
going to say, isn't this their like first flagship game? And it's like, if you want Amazon games to be a thing, like you probably shouldn't shit the bed on your very first one.
Well, let's see if we
or if you do shit the bed, at least scrape it off the fucking sheets.
Or they just make a whole new bed. That's how AAA games
You
work.
never saw this
It's like,
bed.
our old game was shit. Well, here's a new one. Forget we have the old one.
It's just weird that they're putting out a new MMO right after their first
Wait, are you serious?
game.
It's an MMO?
I couldn't tell what Lost Ark was.
I mean, Lost Mark is effectively an MMO.
Lost Mark?
Ark.
Ark.
Yeah.
You play as Mark? Where the fuck is Mark?
Oh, man.
Okay,
Really missed the mark on that
I saw
one.
a thing for Lost Ark, and I thought it was just an expansion for Ark.
No.
I was
So that's funny that you bring that up.
It is.
Because we were talking about Lost Ark last night, and I was like, man, Amazon, what the fuck are you thinking calling it Lost Ark? Way to not capitalize on SEO. Way to potentially confuse fucking players, especially when there's more Ark coming out soon.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are you doing, man? Call it something else. Lost, dude, that is such a generic fucking fantasy name. Call it anything else.
Now, I made a comment that Amazon should know better about how to better keyword their fucking products and stuff. But then I was thinking about it more, and I'm like, I've used Amazon search. It's kind of a shit show.
It's
half
a
the
bit
time
assy.
too, so.
But also, New World is hard to search for too. Like before it launched, when there wasn't as much content as there is now, you would get so many varied search results, even through Google, which is, has a better algorithm than every other search. You'd get all kinds of other stuff. So they just don't know.
Yeah, I'm curious now though. Is Lost Ark an MMO, or is it like what? I knew there's a new beta trailer that's coming out.
If it's an MMO, that makes zero sense. Why make another one?
I don't think it's an MMO.
It's an MMO RPG.
Yeah, it is.
Lost
Ark is a massively multiplayer online role-playing game.
What the fuck, Amazon?
Online action role-playing game. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Isometric MMO, a Black Desert,
What the fuck is isometric?
It means imagine a room like this room. Mm-hmm. Isometric means the camera's in the corner.
Yeah.
So Diablo
is
isometric.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, another MMO. Second game launches, and it's 2 MMOs.
There's a lot of people that it seems to me there's a lot more people that were hyped about Lost Ark than there were people hyped about New World.
Oh, I disagree.
You think so?
Oh yeah, New World was like you had Elden Ring and New World were the big games for the last 2 years.
Okay.
Oh yeah, New World is huge.
Both of them I had never heard of until a month and a half ago. So
Lost Ark is being made by Smilegate RPG, which is a publisher/developer from Korea that makes what I'm going to call Korean games. Yeah. So there's a reason we haven't heard about them. They've made Crossfire, another one that they're really big, but they're
generic.
They're games that we don't have here.
They're
in
not
America,
Western titles,
or they're not Western titles, right? So
does that bode well for its functionality?
It tells me that Lost Ark is going to play like a Korean action RPG.
Yeah,
which some people's jam.
Yeah, Black Desert Online.
Right.
See, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I don't.
You guys see, we grew up in the nascent era of Asian games like Ragnarok and that whole era of semi-web-based games. Remember Conquer?
Yes.
That was a shitty version of back then what amounted to an Asian MMO.
Okay.
Right. And if you look at the evolutionary branch of these games, a lot of the really shitty phone games are a direct descendant of stuff like Ragnarok and that. And you can see the bones in there. The problem is they're all just copies of each other, right? And they've meshed with the Zynga evolutionary branch to maximize profits.
Ew.
So I don't know anything about Crossfire or what's the other, Soul Worker.
I know you're not supposed to get caught in it.
In the Crossfire, it had 6 million concurrent players at one point. I mean,
that's a good chunk.
That's a good chunk, but
there's a lot of Asians, so that might be small when you're in an Asian market.
It's
technically
we grew up playing JRPGs.
So I have
most
played.
People are
which
Asian.
one is this?
This is Lost Ark.
Okay,
I have played Final Fantasies, various ones. Does it play like a Final Fantasy?
I mean, it's going to be much more quick and shallow. Then it's not like a full-blown RPG. You can see it's kind of like Diablo, but also Diablo and Marvel Cinematic Universe had a baby.
I like the way it looks, though.
Yeah,
no, it does look good.
Like the way
Asian
it
games
looks.
look fucking fantastic. They always look great. But the problem is that you get into the game and you're like, okay, so to level up your character, you're going to need to sync your 3 chrono clocks, and your chrono clocks are dependent on your relationship with your partners that are then need to be Dynamaxed into evolution stones. You take those stones, shove them up your butt, and depending on what month you're born, then you shit out skill points that are colored based off your zodiac sign. Are you with me? Because we're just starting, right? That's how a lot of these games work, and that doesn't mean they're
Can't
bad.
I just be level 2?
No,
you got to earn it.
God,
you gaijin.
You just call me a round eye fuck.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's just after having played, especially in the teens, the 2010s and whatnot, Andy and I played a lot of JRPGs, and you find that they are always on the look for some new shtick regarding RPGs, and they're always changing how skill points or levels or abilities work. And they've jumped the shark so much that, what was that Penny Arcade game they were making fun of, the fighting one, Blaze Blue or whatnot?
Was that 12?
I don't know.
Yeah.
There's 4 classes for each class.
Which is not uncommon for Korean MMOs.
Yeah.
If you played Ragnarok online, you specialized your class 4 times through the leveling experience.
That looks way worse than the other footage they were showing.
Yeah, it does.
That's probably what it's going to actually really look like. I mean, let's be real here. They're
I mean, that's cool. I like the monster.
The
Yeah,
monster
sure.
looks
It
fucking
looks-
dope, but
It
like,
looks good.
yeah.
Kona says that everyone he knows that's been playing has enjoyed it.
That's good.
Is it
Yeah.
going to be free?
I don't think so.
Almost free.
$14.99.
That said paid
That was
DLC
for
for,
the
a
paid DLC.
free game.
okay. We'll
I'm
see.
not giving Amazon any more of my money until they fix New World.
That's
So-
also true.
They got $40 out of me. That's what is FetLife? They're into fucking king shit.
Oh, have you seen the fucking trailer for the Book of Boba Fett?
Yes.
Yeah.
What did FetLife? How did that connect the dots?
Fett Life.
Yeah.
Oh.
How did I not?
Because I was
Yeah.
thinking FetLife. I wasn't. Thinking,
That's I was
Yeah.
thinking the kink website.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, you look at this and you can see Diablo, you can see Ragnarok,
Yeah.
you can
Yeah, you
see
see the
Path of
inspiration.
Exile,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But
Now,
yeah.
the biggest difference between this game and my experience playing a lot of Path of Exile is that you can actually see what the fuck is going on. So
Give it time. Who knows, right?
Yeah,
You
this
know?
is probably early game footage, like first
Yeah.
20 levels, right?
they have a mode right now, like for the league, it's called Scourge League, and you fill this little blood meter by killing enemies, and then at any point you can swap over to like an alternate dimension that's been like demon zerged.
Okay.
And so all the monsters there. And it's fucking dark as shit and I can't fucking see anything
It's
at
the
all.
worst.
And
Doom 3 all over again.
yeah, it's most of the time I just
Flashlight
try to-
mod.
Yeah.
Flashlight mod. All right.
Thankfully you don't need to really see much. You just fucking run around and shit dies. So
Press left mouse click. Let's take a break.
Yeah, it's about time to go to
Come
break.
back and talk about cheats.
I need to beat.
Talk
oh,
about
I do.
cheats?
Yeah, I want to talk about cheats.
Gotta squeeze
Yeah.
the lemon.
Yeah, we got to talk about cheats, and then we've got a special something coming as well.
The cheat's gone mad with power.
He's gonna
Trying to
eat.
eat
I
the door.
cheat.
The cheat is. I've been trying to think over the last 5 minutes. I've not given a lot of thought. What was the first cheat I remember encountering? And I wouldn't quite call it a cheat, but I do remember playing Mega Man X for the Super Nintendo, Mega Man 10, and sharing the level codes with my friends to skip content. Not quite a cheat. But that was on my mind recently because I came across a random YouTube video in my YouTube hole, as I do, of a neat concept. So cheating is really, 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 really big right now in competitive games.
Just in gaming.
I was just
In gaming in general, but this topic specifically refers mostly to the idea of shooters and whatnot having issues with cheating. And with the news of, was it somebody just put out Ricochet, an anti-cheat service? I don't know if it was CSGO, Ricochet, anti-cheat. But it was an entire flop, Warzone, Call of Duty Warzone. And it's not working, right? They immediately got past it.
Shocking.
And, it makes sense. You can't really create an anti-cheat, as we're learning, from a game side when cheats can be hidden in such a way that the game can't detect it. This video is basically talking about how modern day cheat, you spend $4 a month and you get the software that can run in such a way that as long as you're even the most remotely careful, no one's going to ever detect other than people like seeing you cheat in game, right? And the game can't pick that up. He's talking about how you could put these cheats like into your keyboard and take it to a LAN and have essentially exaggerated aim assist. And unless somebody sees you doing it, there's no way for an anti-cheat to stop that. And, excuse me, it's a big problem. And they had this neat idea. This guy's basically, so far, a Discord server. It's him and a handful of people. This idea is very nascent, very new, getting off the ground. We'll see how it goes. But they have this idea of taking a neural net and training it on footage of games. So you imagine every modern competitive tournament or even MOBA tournament, whatever you want, is on YouTube. And we have decades of YouTube videos of this stuff. And what you can do is you train this neural net on cheaters and not cheaters. And then you can feed it any video you want. And they're going to have a web portal where you can essentially just upload a video you want. And it'll take a look at it. And it looks at how the cursor moves, the gun shoots, the screen changes.
That's a cheater.
And determine if it's human controlled or not. It's a fantastic idea. And like with all things neural net, if you train it well with enough data, it will work. And that kind of a cheat isn't going to work, of course, in the moment, but it will start revealing cheaters if they're out there that are playing at high levels. Right. Because you can get cheats where it's just like an extra 5% auto aim, just enough to help you get over that edge. If you're in the top 10% of players, what's $4 a month to, completely shut down everyone else?
Right. Yeah.
So
it's surprising to see how many stories are coming out to where there's so many prominent high level players that are maybe not have been like outed necessarily as cheating, but it's like
at least rumors about it.
It's highly suspect. Like I was watching some about like some Fortnite tournaments and stuff to where when a lot of these high end players were doing like qualifiers or they're playing from home, they're putting up these like massive points that get them into the qualifiers, and then they have to play like live,
and they don't do so
and they fucking do garbage. And the big thing that concerns me is for the longest time, that was one of the advantages of playing on console, is that you pretty much didn't have to worry about cheaters. And there's two things now that have come out that have made this suddenly a problem for a genre of gaming on the console that didn't exist, and that's crossplay.
Yeah.
Now that some games opt in or opt out of playing with PC players, now we have to deal with the PC players cheating. But the one that has been on my radar for the last 2 years, when I first started playing Apex, that's when I learned out about strike packs. You can just go down to GameStop, drop fucking $15-$20 on a little controller adapter for your console, and suddenly you have access to anti-recoil, trigger fingers, like drop shotting, quick scoping, all the stuff that is just easily accessible to get these profiles downloaded, and it's undetectable by any sort of cheat software because it's all inputs through the controller itself.
And there's no way for a game to detect that.
Yeah,
right?
they can't do that on that side. And it's only gotten easier and easier for people to do it now. Like I just watched a quick video before the podcast tonight on something called the Chronos Zen, which is like the latest from this company that makes these. And it's a small box about the size of like a pack of cigarettes. It's got dual ports on it, so you can plug a mouse and keyboard into it if you want, or your console controller. And it's got a fucking LCD screen on it, and they have a fully operated GUI that you install on like your computer and stuff if you run it on the PC, or you probably plug it into your PC to get stuff set up. That like fully advertises these profile packs and stuff for specific games now. Like you don't even have to. There's no tech savvy really required at all.
Yeah.
To where like you're playing Warzone. Okay, well here's the Warzone pack. Are these the guns you use and these profiles and stuff? Load that shit up. And so, and what that means is like younger and younger people are going to be using them because it's easier and easier because they want to be.
And those little shits already have the better reflexes. Come on.
Yeah, man. It's ludicrous. I mean, and I get more and more worried because if we don't find a way to combat this level of fucking chicanery, where does that leave us in the state of any sort of competitive shooters, And for a while there, I kind of dismissed it. So like when I first learned about the strike packs 2 years ago, starting to play Apex and stuff, I was like, okay, I literally bought this strike pack because I wanted paddles on my generic Xbox controller. Had no idea about this other functionality and stuff. But having owned that, I then learned that like, oh shit, you can do some shady shit with this thing. And I'm like, okay, well, it's probably fairly niche that anybody's doing this. And then all you got to do is look at sales numbers.
Yeah.
As an indicator, because like you can't track these because there's nothing that's fucking, that's the whole purpose is they're undetectable. But you can look at sales numbers, and if you see like, they've sold 1 million units of this one fucking type of stuff, like you have to assume that you're getting a chunk of fucking players that are doing this, and it's going to be, exacerbated in like battle royale type games because skill-based matchmaking is so much more lenient.
Yeah.
Because you have larger pools of players that you need to bring together consistently for these matches. So you can't just weed out all these cheaters into some like upper bracket of high level play or anything like that. You're going to get them across the board all the time. Like I would almost make an assumption that there's at least 10% of all matches you're probably having some fuckwit out there that's using one of these devices.
Yeah.
And this plays right into like the one I saw was talking about how there was controller players in this Fortnite tournament that was on PC and stuff like that. And it was remarkable to see how it correlated to their drop in skill and their points that they accumulated, specifically from these controller players that were in this PC tournament, from when they went from the home qualifiers to like the live events. And across the board, it was like all controller players just took a shit when it went live. And I'm like, I mean, that's fairly damning that they're running these fucking pass-through devices to cheat when they're running at home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not surprising. And the video I watched on it basically pointed out that we have incentivized cheating, right? It's easy, it's cheap, and you can make money and become a personality on Twitch or in LANs and competitive games and make actual money if you're good at these things. And if the downside is that you get caught and you make a new account and, you know, like make a new handle and start playing again with a Smurf account, like that's not a downside.
No, I mean, a lot of these games have streamer modes where you can just turn off all displayed names anyways and stuff like that. So people might not even know that you've fucking made a new alt account because your last one got banned. Like there's easier and easier ways to obfuscate the fact that you're cheating, you know? I just don't know where it goes from this point, like without being able to find a way to stop this shit.
So I just went to their main website to look at this stuff, and they make it pretty blatant that they can do these things. So I opened up the live chat and asked what their stance is on people using their hardware for cheating. And it appears now that all their agents are offline or busy at the moment, and they can't answer my question.
Of course.
Yeah.
Shocking.
But yeah, so that program, if I didn't mention, it's called Waldo. If you Google it, you pretty much just get the GitHub repository. It's pretty new. There's not a lot on it, but if you do search YouTube Waldo anti-cheat, there's a couple good videos on it worth looking into. And hopefully we can find a solution because, like Russ pointed out, you know, I don't see healthy competition in competitive games if this is going to continue.
No, the sad thing at the end of the day is cheaters are going to cheat, and there is only so much you can do to stop them. They're always going to find a new way to cheat. It's sad, but it's just true.
I wish it was back in the day when it was substantially harder to get like a functioning cheat software to be running on your computer.
Yeah.
That didn't get you like immediately picked up by fucking Punkbuster or some shit.
You just got scammed and lost your money, or it's, you know.
But now when your grandma can literally go down and buy you a $20 fucking cheat device and it walks you through your Warzone Apex cheating, it's kind of like, fuck.
Yep.
Now, the fun thing is that it has opened up a new genre of videos where watching people that are obviously cheating just get shit on, which is great. I do like that.
We need to keep up that culture of cheaters.
Yeah.
So I believe you guys wanted to talk about girth or length.
I mean,
oh yes,
in some cases,
or perhaps
yes.
both.
It is a measuring of dicks.
It sure is. Yeah. So we're gonna do a dick measuring contest, I guess is what we're doing.
Okay.
So
unbuckle my belt here.
All right. So we've got an image up on screen. 2 of these video game characters will be your friends and provide your safety. The rest will go corrupt and attack you sooner or later. You have to choose who is going to be your guy.
Okay, so
Nick is fucking blind as.
So I'll run
bring
you
up
through.
the stream on your computer there.
So the characters we have is Kratos and his son.
Do they count as 2 characters or 1?
I believe we're going to count them as 1.
Okay.
Well, if that's the case, then when we get to the middle one, then
that's still a pairing. We'll just do the boxes.
Yeah.
So Kratos and his son from God of War. We have Raiden from the Metal Gear Solid games. We have Geralt, the Witcher from the Witcher games. We have the Hunter, the generically named character from the Bloodborne series. We have Dante and his brother Virgil from Devil May Cry. We have Jack Cooper and BT-7274, the Titan and from the Titanfall games. Dovahkiin from Skyrim. Of course, the classic Ryu Hayabusa from Ninja Gaiden. And the Doomslayer, or most recently Doom Eternal. Now, I'm going to start this off by saying
caveats before we even start choosing.
Okay, give us what do you got caveats?
So, at what power level are these guys at? Like, is
Current
Skyrim
power
guy
levels.
like
End of game Skyrim?
End of game Skyrim with exploits?
Well, no.
Okay, so no exploits available.
no exploits available. End of game.
But all these people are at their max power.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? Doom guy and the 2 Dante's people are magically immune and they win. Like, they're not going to lose. They're supernatural.
Well, I'd say almost everyone on here is supernatural.
Yeah.
Well,
except for Jack Cooper. And
Raiden is not supernatural enough. He's a dude with cool tech and anime power. The Witcher has magic, but he gets his ass kicked all the time because he is very mortal.
Very accurate.
BT's a robot. Doom Guy would shred his fucking shit because he's got
them.
triple rocket launchers. Like, I mean, maybe he gets a jump on Doom Guy, but Doom Guy doesn't lose, right? He killed hell.
Yeah.
I think immediately, like, for this conversation to be interesting, you have to get rid of Doom Guy. He can't be on the list.
See, the reason he's on the list is because most people are going to be like, he's just Doom Guy, right? They're not thinking they're not thinking about the fact that this guy literally beat hell, right? They're just, well, he's just got guns and swords, like he's just well, I guess he's Nephilim, but I don't
know. Sorry, I'm interrupting.
No, I'm just saying. I think that people are underestimating.
I don't know enough about the Dante games to know the exact like meta power level of those two, but I know that they're essentially like immortal supernatural beings.
Yeah.
They could theoretically be killed though.
They can definitely die.
Well, what did they kill in their games? Did they kill God? Did they kill
the devil?
They killed
demons. Nothing is grandiose as God or the devil, right?
Okay.
But like God's right hand man, essentially, or like
I'm going with
ultra-powerful
Kratos and Doom Guy.
hell ruling demons, right?
What is Kratos going to do against rockets?
He'd absorb them. He's the god of war.
Catch them and then shove them up your ass?
Yeah.
You can't catch an explosion.
Iron Man caught one and threw it back. Why can't Kratos? I'm just saying. No. Kratos and Doom
What is
Guy.
Kratos going to do against a fucking chain gun? He's going to get shredded. Like, if
I'd
you're
assume
assuming
that bullets don't even harm him.
then he can't lose, then he wins.
I mean,
if you're just
but
saying like he can't
that's the
be
thing.
hurt by guns.
In most cases, we haven't seen these guys lose, right? They've overcome insurmountable odds, gods, demons, plenty of stuff. I mean, with the exception of Titanfall is just kind of ass.
Yeah, it's kind of a hard problem because like, how do you compare someone who has guns like Doom Guy that doesn't lose and can kill hell to someone like a god of war like Kratos? Like,
to be fair,
can they hurt each other?
I don't like classifying Doom Guy as tech just because he is also extremely powerful sans tech.
Yeah, that's essentially on top of all of his guns and shit. He's like fucking supernatural, right?
I think it's fairly easy, in my opinion, to eliminate Raiden, Geralt, and the Titan pilot.
Yeah.
I feel like you just, at the end of the day, why the fucking
Even
Titan and the Titan
Skyrim
pilot
guy,
are there,
if you're not assuming exploits, like he becomes a really powerful magic user and he's really good at melee combat. But
He
what
yells
is
at dragons, bro. That's pretty cool.
He's pretty strong.
He's pretty strong, but like, is he Kratos strong?
No.
Is he?
I think he loses that.
I think he loses to Kratos.
Bloodborne strong? I don't.
Right.
Bloodborne, for me, is the hardest one to quantify power level.
I don't know Bloodborne.
It's weird because if you take like the diegetic fight in game, like it's a lot of dodging and parrying and then hitting with the weapon, but then like in the lore, I don't really know how powerful he is. He's using a real material mundane weapons.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some gun things and there is some magic stuff in there. I would probably put him on the line with like Ryu Hayabusa, where they're like semi-supernatural in their capacity, right? Mm-hmm. But they're not invincible. So I don't know. Like, you really have to ask the question, like, does Ryu, if he gets the drop on these guys because he's a ninja, can he just slit their throats? Like,
that's a valid concern.
Yeah.
We have to make an assumption that they can be killed, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, let's say this, not necessarily killed, but confined.
Defeated.
Right, defeated,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, at some manner.
Maybe a better concession to make is to assume that they're all injurable. Like, if that's the case, then immediately some of these people have guns and missiles and lasers and like, what do you do then, right?
Well, I think a lot of them lose to that.
Yeah,
But you also, tech runs out, That's
Doom
not
Guy
necessarily
doesn't run out.
Doom Guy has to get fucking more ammo.
He gets like ammo spills out of things he kills.
Yeah.
So he's got to kill you to get more ammo, right?
Yeah.
Or anything.
I'd like to see any of these guys dodge a BFG shot, right? Like it's a football yard style radius explosion that kills everything.
Now I'll just say,
So-
I am definitely of an agreement. Like, I think Doom Guy is probably the most powerful person on this list.
If that had been like
because-
Master Chief, I think that would have been more in line with some of these other people.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if we want, we can say Doom Guy with his essentially near unlimited amount of power is being replaced by Master Chief. How does that then change your 2-person lineup?
What are you thinking, Josh?
Okay, so if it's not Doom Guy and it's Master Chief, I'm still going to go with Kratos. And
It gets
the
hard.
Dovahkiin?
Yeah. So real quick to address chat. So Konahula says, plus Kratos has an arsenal of mythical items from multiple mythos worth of gods. Now, I would say that those are all included because we are talking about him and his most powerful, especially if we're talking about most recent Kratos, then yes, at his most powerful end game self, he has all of those. So those are included.
Yeah.
I would assume this dwarven forged armor and stuff is going to protect him from most like mundane weapons fire.
Yeah.
We're talking about Skyrim guy?
Kratos. Probably Skyrim guy as well.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have to kind of figure, like, does he have is he level 100 in every skill in Skyrim? Is he a master of every magic school plus all the weapon combat stuff and have all the shouts? Then he's pretty fucking powerful, right?
Yeah.
I think he needs all those to even
be on this list.
be on this
Yeah.
list. Like it's a requirement.
Some of the items in Skyrim too, like
I honestly-
fucking Wabbajack staff.
I
just
feel like the
turn your opponent into a
weakest person
chicken.
on this list is Ryu Hayabusa.
I agree.
You think the what? The word.
Ryu Hayabusa is the weakest person on the list.
After we've eliminated
He's really
the
just
other 3?
So, well, no, because I think
Flat out,
I
he's the
agree.
weakest person on that list.
Oh no, Ryu is going to take down both the Titan pilot and Geralt, hands down.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's true. Because I thought we were including Raiden in that, and I think we're downplaying Raiden a little bit.
I don't know about Raiden other than he's a full-on weeaboo anime protagonist, which means he's got speed, skill, and only 10% of his power, nothing
Like,
special,
I
son,
figure-
right?
Yeah, and his
I
entire
figured,
shtick is in.
Hayabusa would and Geralt would be a good fight, but the fucking Titan pilot's gonna crush that ninja. Like if he did the Titan.
Have you played Ninja Gaiden?
Yeah.
Like that Titan isn't going to be able to touch him.
Yeah.
He's also like anime weeaboo. He's going to
do this with his
shadow
sword,
teleport. Yeah.
and the robot's going to fall in half, right? Yeah, that's how much anime protagonist plot armor does Raiden and Ryu have, you know?
At least some.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah,
Crumble
Crumble beats all of them.
Raiden in Metal Gear Solid 4, he just kills Metal Gears for fun. That's what he does.
Yeah, he sliced
in,
through like an entire
form.
Metal Gear like while running up its back.
Yeah, it just like in half, perfectly clean cut. So, he's at his ultimate power level. He's really, really powerful. Now he does rely on tech. You know, he's not like an unbeatable god.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's Kratos or Doom Guy, but I think he's fucking high up on this list. Now, Devil May Cry guys, so we've got Virgil and Dante. Those guys have a lot of experience in fighting like supernatural, superhuman stuff. Especially with the arsenal that they have and the power creep that you eventually get in those games. I feel like those are good candidates.
I think they're at least worthy to be on the list.
Yeah. I think they are good on this list. I don't think they're an immediate shoe off, right? But you also have to remember that everybody else on this list is going to go corrupt and attack you sooner or later. Mm-hmm. So you do have to think about like, you know, what you're going to have to fight.
Well, at the end of the day, chat brings up this whole tech versus magic thing, which alludes to me that like, you know, some of these people have no idea magic's real and some of them have never seen guns. So like it really comes down to how that plays out. Like if Master Chief unloads a fucking, you know, sniper rifle round into Kratos' head, what happens?
Right.
Does it hurt him? Yes or no? Like if Skyrim guy shouts at Titanfall dude and like throws his Titan through the air, like, you know, how does that work? We don't really know. We're trying to like parse different realities here.
I mean, the EVA 8 shotgun in the original Titanfall is really fucking powerful. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
No, I feel like Kratos takes a 50
Dante
cal
dodges
round
bullets
in the head, and he's like, and he gets like one of them little Bugs Bunny like lump raises up.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's accurate.
Yeah, I feel like you might be right there.
I
Like
think
if he gets enough of them, sure, it like shit'll happen.
Like
But
Kratos is a literal god.
Yeah.
Right. Like I think he also has a power level that's a little too indeterminate and high to
even
be
in
on a
his own
list.
games.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, like I mean, literally the point of Kratos, so that makes him so crazy, is that he kills other gods. Which you shouldn't, like, even the gods are like, you shouldn't be able to do this. Like,
But he also, like, you see these crazy, ridiculous feats of strength and agility in, like, cutscenes. But you are unable as the player to execute those in standard game time, right? So,
Yeah.
so
One of the
what
kind of
determines?
caveats I was talking about.
Yeah. So what determines how actually powerful he
Power
is?
lie.
Yeah.
I
And
feel like again, I can't stop harping on it. I feel like that dude's just a fucking ninja. I've played Ninja Gaiden games, and he's just a fucking ninja.
You know what?
he's the best ninja.
I'm
though.
just gonna
not
take.
saying, I'm not saying he's not a good ninja.
I'm just gonna take Geralt, and I'm gonna have him bring in, what's
Ciri?
her name, Yennefer, and she can just portal me somewhere where these other people aren't.
She's like, bye.
Yeah,
Going to a different sphere, bitches.
yeah,
I don't like this conjunction that's
Yeah.
going on here.
done. Thanks, Geralt.
I mean, Josh, as far as Ryu goes, I don't think you're wrong as far as like he loses to a lot of these guys, I think, but I still maintain
I mean, he's cool, but I feel.
I don't like having Raiden and Ryu on the same list because I feel like they are pretty comparable.
Yeah.
Oh, Raiden would smash fucking Ryu.
What?
Oh yeah.
Raiden's got huge weeaboo anime.
Way more than
stuff.
way
Like I
more
was
than
saying,
Ryu.
he runs like we've seen Ryu do a bunch of stuff, but some of the stuff Raiden does in his games, like cut buildings in half and shit like that.
He literally cuts buildings, Metal Gears in half. Has fucking hardcore anime energy.
That's true. I mean, Raiden could just hide in a box. They never know where he's at.
Oh,
Too
man.
true.
Yeah,
Now-
where's Solid Snake on this list, right?
What? Well, he does no way. His
doesn't
ability
exist on
is
this
to like
list.
hide from these
Yeah.
guys. He's not beating them.
Crab demon.
He could teach you how to hide from them.
Yeah.
Now, what if Geralt could Witcher knowledge his way and research your weakness? Because at the end of the day, Geralt's fucking fantasy Batman, right?
Yeah.
So can he fantasy Batman detective a weakness for these people
mean-
and take them out?
Possibly, Batman killed Superman, right?
Yeah. Is there a potion that fucking
Well-
he can drink that will?
Let me drink this Nuln oil.
let me have my Doom Guy potion real quick. Like, can he do that?
This gnome oil will make it so you can kill a god of war.
Right.
Yeah.
The research says so.
That's fair.
Oh, dude, what he does is he just reaches into his pocket and blows cocaine into fucking Kratos' face. He's like, ah!
No, then you have a situation where Kratos actually
Nope,
accidentally
nope.
kills his son. And
Yes, and then he kills himself. Yeah, no
he's-
shame.
Yeah.
Ooh.
See?
He
Witcher.
fucking fantasy Batmaned him.
Could you
Fantasy
just bury
Batman.
Kratos?
Yes.
Just put him in a hole?
Bury
him?
Possible.
Yeah. I mean, well, they do that to other gods.
Yeah.
I feel like they
It's
tried
God's
that.
weakness. Put him in a hole.
Put him in a hole.
Can't get out.
Didn't they try to crush him with the world serpent? And he's like, nah, fuck that bitch.
What?
I'm so excited.
No.
I'm so excited to play this game. I don't know what happens in it, but I looked at it on Steam and I almost bought it yesterday, but I'm going to wait a little longer.
Yeah. Play
Oh,
some
right. You're waiting to play the snooze god. Though. Yeah, gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Play some DRG with us first before you get sucked into.
So what I want to do is I'm going to come back next week
I'm gonna come.
on your back next week
Okay.
with a different list
Yeah.
that I think is potentially more.
Is this
Fair.
a list you'll have curated?
Yes,
Okay.
I will make a list.
I'm into it.
And
Can I make a list?
I'm going to make a list.
I'm gonna check
Quiet
it
kid in
twice.
class.
We all need to make a 3x3 grid.
Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
I'll do next week's.
Okay.
You can prepare one.
Okay.
For future weeks.
Mine's
Okay.
gonna fucking be weird.
Yeah, mine would be really weird too, man.
I want to see if there's any overlap.
Like,
Chat,
yeah.
if you want to make a list, go for it.
Please.
We will all talk about our lists.
At the end
Yeah.
of the day, it's going to be a choose two. And I'm not going to have any of this fucking partnership bullshit. You
Yeah,
get one.
Yeah,
one.
like it's a little strange. Like either they should all have partners and you're picking a team of 4, or they should none have
Yeah.
partners.
It's going to be a pick 2, but if in mine, if they are like a standard duo,
Then they're a team.
then that is your 2.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. You don't get like Batman, Robin, and somebody else. It'll be Batman and Robin.
Mr.
What if I want
Freeze.
the Bat family?
No, that's way too many people.
Why would we? We're talking
get-
about barely getting 2.
I will throw in to your Batman and Robin combo 1 paraplegic Batgirl.
Oracle? I get Oracle?
Yeah.
Fuck. Okay.
I feel like it's not
I
a
mean,
total loss.
She does,
It's not.
do-
It's
do-
not.
doesn't get her wheelchair.
She doesn't need it if she's in Oracle, homie.
She doesn't get her
Yeah,
computer
I know.
either. She just gets to pull herself around on the ground,
So yeah, if you guys
tearing her bat leotard.
if you guys feel like submitting a list, do it.
Yeah.
We'd
2
love
of
to
them will
see
be
it.
your friends and provide your safety. The rest will go corrupt and attack you sooner
Bro,
or
was that
later.
your butt?
No,
Yes.
Put that back.
I can't.
Put it back.
Much like Pandora's box, it's open
Oh.
into the world.
Oh.
Your butt is Pandora's box
Ugh.
for sure.
Real quick, if any of you like Stardew
thing?
Valley,
Was it the thing you're
the guy
You have my attention.
Grumpy Cat or Startled Mongoose or Disgraced Rabbit,
Something ape.
Concerned Ape.
Concerned ape, yeah.
Concerned Ape has shown
was
a
a
little
lot of
bit
fun.
of his new game he's coming out with. Have you seen it? Haunted Chocolatier?
I haven't. No.
Oh,
I know
shit,
he was
look it
I
up.
knew he was making something, but yeah, no, I haven't seen that.
No, you're playing like a hotel concierge in like the spooky haunted hotel and you make chocolates for ghosts or something. I haven't watched too much of it.
Oh, dude.
But yeah, no, he's making his next
Yeah, it
game.
is.
Andy loved Stardew.
Oh my
so-
god, yeah, it is. I mean, I love all those games, like all of the fucking Harvest Moon types,
Yeah.
all,
Thou Kratos is the stuff of nightmares.
all of the all of the Stranding type games.
The Strand
type games.
Strand type game.
I love all those. Okay, so it's done in the same kind of style as Stardew Valley.
As what's the game where you spell the words?
Scramble.
Scribble Knots.
Oh, Scribble Nazi. Oh, dude, that was a lot of fun, man.
Every time I see this game, I
Did you
think
say Scribble Nazi?
No, Scribble Knots.
Nauts.
Oh, okay.
How do you spell Sieg?
Yeah. So no, yeah. I'm excited. The dude deserves it. Like he fucking busted his ass. Everybody loves Stardew.
I was fucking narning it. Oh, fucking
Yeah.
Poyus.
Slimes, birds.
No, Poyus.
Turns out all the ingredients to make chocolate are dropped from dire Venus flytraps and birds.
I mean,
there's an
that
Oddish.
makes sense.
This is kind of like fucked up Pokemon. It's like you got to go to this fucking fantasy world, kill these animals so you can come back and turn them into fucking sweets.
And sell them to ghosts.
I love it.
Yep. And you get to decorate like a little ghost floating around. And then you have real people, I guess.
They're gonna get sued. Those are boos. You can't use.
Is every
booze.
round ghost a boo?
Yes.
Yeah.
I love
Probably
round
will.
ghost games.
Look at that, man. He wants some
Sorry if
chocolate.
I'm sweaty. I've been
eating all
thinking of
this
meats and
No,
chocolate.
I love this. I mean, this
Like
is
my chocolate
obviously
salty.
reuse.
It's crusty.
No,
You're better off here.
Obviously reusing Stardew assets, but
Yeah.
it does look fun.
Hey, man, if it there's space.
Well, I love Stardew, so
Yeah.
yeah, I'm into it.
Dr. Tungsten. but
Love
I'm
it.
using my own equipment for this research.
Is Dr. Tungsten married to Professor Wolframite? It's a gay
What?
relationship.
At
Is it?
werewolffox.com.
Wolframite.
Werewolf fucks.
Tungsten.
Werewolf fucks.
I'm
You
not
don't
buying
know.
that. I'm not buying that.
That's the moneymaker, man.
Yeah.
We need to own werewolffox.com.
Mm-hmm.
Chat says Chocolatier is based off a true story.
What?
I certainly hope so.
It's my story.
Remember that time we went out in the field as kids and we strangled pigeons and put them in a pot and made chocolates for our mom. Mom died, and then we saw their ghost and we went to space.
And
there's
then
a
sold
man-
them chocolates.
Yeah, there's a man there, and he said he was sweaty.
All of this is just coping with the sexual molestation from Dr. Tungsten.
That's the true
that
story.
occurred.
You put it right in your plopper.
Oh my God, they're doing the fucking Boy Scouts of America on Behind the Basket.
Yeah, no, I was listening to that today. Oh my God.
That sounds good.
I haven't finished the first one yet. I was going to sleep to it
Yeah.
last night, but
It's but last week when they were doing God, what were they doing last week?
this week, this can happen here.
Oh,
stuff.
like not that this can happen here. They had that one dude on.
Oh, Paul F. Tompkins.
Yeah, Paul F.
they're
Tompkins,
finishing
yeah.
up the oh my god, the South American Chilean.
Yes. When they're talking about Nazi pedophiles and they bring up the Boy Scouts and someone goes, "Whew, boy, that's rough." In the middle of an episode about Nazi pedophiles, you know the Boy Scouts are fucked.
So after you listen to this podcast, it sounds like you
Go,
need to go
listen to
that.
Robert Evans's podcast. It's pretty good. Behind the Bastards.
To answer chat, what we think of Halo. I think we talked about Halo last podcast. We watched the trailer.
We did. It looks fun.
We're reservedly hopeful.
I'm not getting my hopes up. I don't really do that for games anymore.
Yeah.
Halo's one of those series where I just wait until I play it because the games are hit or miss.
It looked better than the first footage they showed us
Definitely.
earlier this year or last year or whenever the times they showed us that last preview and they gave us all the fucking shitty elites and whatnot.
Yeah, I didn't.
The slow ass grapple. They fixed that.
Yeah.
I don't know about that open world scenario. Like, just
I'm partially intrigued by open world.
I don't know. Like, maybe it'll be cool. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's like, for me, it's like,
it's probably going to be Far Cry-esque and it's going to be irritating.
get a fucking buddy on the couch and point me in a fucking direction, and just
What they need to
There you
do
go.
is make a free-to-play, pay-to-win collectible board game of Halo with Pikachu somewhere in there. Just go fully opposite side, and then
you're
we'll
talking
get
about
that,
Fortnite, the board
and
game.
then we can cleanse our palate with an actual. It's like dick thumbing somebody, right? You tell them, "I'm gonna have to put my thumb up your ass." And they're like, no.
Well-
And you're like, well, I'm gonna put my dick up your ass. No, whoa.
Can
And
we
you're like,
circle
okay,
back
how
to the
about
thumb?
just the thumb? Right?
Next
you
week
give 'em the
we
old
can
dick
talk
thumb.
about Ethereum blockchain-based collectible RPG auto battlers
Yeah.
because that's a thing that we live with these
That is a
days.
thing that we live with.
Those were
we
words.
didn't get to it tonight, but
I know some of those words.
20,000 years of this, 7 more to go.
Sabo says it looks better. Sabo says that Halo Infinite looks better than Anthem. Everything looks better than Anthem. I was in
Is
the
Anthem
first.
still going?
I think so. I'm pretty
Probably.
yeah, I think it is. I'm pretty sure they
I mean,
dropped
do
some
bad
DLC
things keep
recently.
happening?
I hate that non-fungible token is a common parlance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, Anthem apparently was going to be rebooted as Anthem Next, and even that got scrapped. That
Okay,
was
well.
months ago.
Yeah.
So, no, it's dead.
Anthem next, straight to the garbage can.
Mm-hmm.
Now that Anthem's dead, we should probably wrap it up.
Let's wrap it, flap it,
Yes,
see you
Anthem.
later. Bye.
See you later. Bye. Remember, subscribe on the YouTube. Follow us on Twitter. Join us in the Facebook group.
Please.
Follow on Twitch. The dog agrees.
That was me. That was my butt again. I'm sorry.
Please follow on Twitch. We love you.